Howdy, folks. This is Jason Fisher with Fisher Gaming again, and I am here in the Dyson Sphere, and we're moving on with this next arc. But before we go much farther, we have another message from Neelan Exil, who is our contact from inside the Voth. So before we do much more, we're gonna go and check out our message.
I was pleased to receive your message, even if I have to keep this conversation a secret from everyone I know. There are many topics that have been deemed controversial and off-limits. Inquisitors examine our work on a regular basis, but questions need to be asked if we are to maintain any sort of scientific credibility. Have you ever wondered at the fact that both our people were able to enter this sphere from opposite ends? That we could move through halls, through rooms, through entire buildings without finding another living thing? Until we encountered one another. The Ministry of Elders would have me publish papers claiming that this sphere was created by our ancestors. But why would they abandon this place? Why would anyone abandon this place? As far as I can tell, this place was commissioned but not built by a race called the Iconians. A war forced them to abandon their home in favor of this more strategic location. Imagine how many fleets of warships could fit inside here, fed by food grown on thousands of hectares of carefully constructed surfaces, powered by the entire energy of a star, and all waiting to ambush from the dark space of the night sky. The Voth are not warmongers. We have taught doctrine to weaker species, but weapons are usually not required. When the Voth have encountered opposition, we have resisted attempts by others to add us to their own ranks. Fights between evenly matched adversaries tend to be futile. A sphere might convince some that the odds have shifted in our favor. Which brings us back to my first question. Why did the original inhabitants of the sphere leave? Did they feel safe and pick a fight against a superior enemy and lose? Or were they forced to leave by some internal flaw in their fortress? We may all be doomed to the fate of those who lived here before if we aren't careful.
End of file.
Well, to be continued. But now let's go ahead and get to the next story in our story arc. Supply woes. Okay. While the minefield helps to keep the Voth ships from entering Allied space en masse, occasionally the Voth will slip one or two small vessels through with their advanced cloaking devices. We have a we have we have a range of tachyon probes frequencies that can sometimes detect the Voth ships, but we need to get up close to have any chance of success. We want the Chickadee to search this zone for any Voth ships that might be hiding. Okay, we're getting a few things. Alright. I think we could just go right outside for this one.
We run missions here from Joint Command, the center of all Allied operations. This is the supply depot. We use it to ship supplies to our forces and to store any unusual or dangerous technologies we find here. This region is the minefield. It is used as a barrier to keep Voth forces out, although some still slip by. And this is the ion stream, a series of structures moving a high volume of charged particles and exotic radiation through the area. Each of these areas could use your help. Good luck.
Okay, looks like we're just doing a... Looks like we're going to be doing a series of small missions. Okay, this supply woes is coming up. And here we are. Okay. 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 Alright, yes. Okay, we're going to the ion stream now. And as before, it is way out there. Okay, let's do this little one right here. Whoops. Now, if you remember way back when we did the Wasteland story arc, all of that was in a social zone. This is also in a social zone, so only it's space, or yeah, space and not ground. Okay, on we go. Good to see you, Daha Master. See the ion streams, the energy in them can be rerouted into power cells of a starship and delivered to another area of the sphere. This energy helps us better understand how the sphere's activities can the chickadee take some of the ion stream's energy to our tower in the minefield? All right, let's see what we can do. All right. And last one is way over there. All right, now we get to take this to minefield. We'll put the energy to good use, but we need more help here, Time Master. The minefield is the last line of defense against the Voth moving from the contested zone. Several of our mines have stopped working, and we don't know why. Can the Chickadee scan some of the deactivated mines and determine the problem? Of course. This mine is missing crucial parts. It may simply be that some mines were not properly assembled. Okay. Last one. I was wrong. Voth have transported the parts out of the mines. I suggest contacting Joint Command with this information. Thank you for your assistance, Star Master. You said that the Voth are remotely disarming the mines by transporting parts out of them? We'll see what we can do to get around that. For now, you and the Chickadee are needed elsewhere, especially in the contested zone. Speak with me again when you are ready for the next assignment. Now let's do the combat engine. Alright. And with that said, let's go ahead and do the contested zone. We have more operations outside the Allied zone to Harmaster. The contested zone is near our borders, and it is where our forces are currently engaged with the Voth, both in the atmosphere and on the ground. It is a constant fight for control in the area. If we slip the Voth, it will overwhelm us. We could use your help out there. Travel to the contested zone and see what you can do. Alright. And contested zone is just go to the edge of the map. Travel to the contested zone, and here we are.
This is the contested zone. Our forces here are in a constant conflict with the Voth. There are 5 fronts in the zone, and each of them need your help. Here, we are fighting the Voth over towers that are critical to our control of the zone. I would advise you help only if you have other starships to provide support. In the center of the contested zone is the battle zone. Commander Arnold is leading the ground fight there against the Voth. He needs anyone who's willing to assist. Make no mistake about this. The contested zone is an active conflict. Be careful out there.
Missing the Allied zone yet? I hope not, because we need every ship we could push to push the Voth back. If you're ready, I'll have more orders for you. The next comes the straight from the Commander Arnold, our liaison from the ground zone. The Omega standoff. There is a ground war waging as we speak in the battle zone. Commander Arnold is commanding Allied forces in an attempt to gain control over Omega particles and silos. Unfortunately, the Allied forces there are understandably under-equipped. They're they're too far away from the supply depot for us to reliably send supplies of shipments, and they can always use more combat-ready recruits. Commander Arnold is and his forces could use your help, Master. Can you spare it? Yeah, we will, but we're gonna roam around the Allied zone for a little bit. Just because I want to show you what this is. These towers here we were talking about earlier are marked with those, and they are on the map. Not that button, but that one. These areas are the one, if they're in blue, they have already been covered. But if they're in red, that means we need to fight to get them back. And it looks like there's somebody else already out there, so and that's all she wrote on that. When this battle zone came out, the contested zone, uh, the ships were a lot lesser than they are now. So now they're pretty easy to pick off, but at first it was a challenge. So, but we're gonna stick around and get that control level up. And as you can see, they're up right here. Might as well take a break. that's and looks like the industrial tower is kind of creeping down, which the industrial tower is way over there. But as you can see, that needle's coming down, so let's go over there and check it out. And that's the industrial tower right there. Let's see if we can get some ambush kills out of this. And it is way over there. It looks like somebody else beat us to it, but I'm cool with that. And the overall, this top line right here is almost done. And when it's done, we get to face the big boys. And there's the big boys. Of course, there's a lot of people going after these citadels, so they're going down pretty quick. And that's all she wrote for that time frame. And we can pretty much just roam around and shoot other ships. If you have any kind of endeavor where you need to kill boss ships, this is a good place to go. But that's going to be all for this episode. In our next episode, I'm going to show you the ground battle zone, which is inside this tower system here. So until then, all of you have a good day and a good life, and I will see the next on our next episode.